Hi guys and welcome to another review on the channel. This is the one review of the annual and this is a review for last night's episode, the first July the first July 2025. So to just give a brief summary here, guys, last night's last night's episode had been eight to coincide the of giving both the main rosters, both the main rosters and the NXT era roster time off to spend after the families on July the 4th American Independence, American Independence Day, but obviously, the show was taped after last week's episode, and it was very apparent because the crowd at times, the crowd at times started to fade out of some segment. It was a lot more subdued into the atmosphere because you really feel that NXT is a lot more community based. Everybody you can tell knows each other around to the inside area in the crowd. So yeah, and everybody was a bit drained after on the live episode. But to start us off, um, to start us off, guys, um we get an intro package um and down in the following week. So basically, guys, after the center for us, match of the night, Joe Hendry versus SOE. Now, SOE and High Eyes have kind of formed a coalition, a pact, if you will, um, joining Chirac Williams. Chirac's been trying to hammer home a few use in order to get Joe Hendry seen. And this and this match also had Chirac Williams and commentary. It was basically um out to scout Joe. Williams actually told Booker and Victor also how he's preparing for the match, because if you didn't know, oh, Ike Santana has been added to the match for a solo anniversary coming up for ENA solo anniversary, so it's a sort of a post for it match that broke during last the weekend. But anyway, well, so high the eyes to Iris and Kylie come out with so he and I have to actually say if he has improved a lot as a performer. I think he suits the heel or role a bit better as he can come across as Kawhi einen and his promo though every but here he's in a match against Joe Hendry and he actually had a good amount of offense in this match, fast paced Joe Hendry had to deal with the suicide I've for or the ropes for he it was actually hit with some force um and um and the right away the match is I really can tell he's a higher I get involved stopping him Jerry from building moment and come as injuries beginning to cook the two goons on the outside I chirp up Hendry and I actually distract him from putting away with so but out comes Mike Santana. It takes out Rick entirely. He's and Joe Hendry hits his stuff and then ovation choke slam and gets the victory. I think um I think the I think this match did what it said in the tin, and it actually was a good outing for both. Ultimately, the right decision was made in terms of storyline. A decent enough, a decent enough match here. But it's obviously not going to be on the going to live long in the memory. I mean, it was okay. It was just it served its purpose in terms of story, in terms of storyline. They could have held her into Joe Hendry. I think eventually once Joe's contract is up in TNA, he'll have like a spell and then NXT as you see that with Jordan Grace current and I, I see the exact same path here and Hendry's already got his own anime from WWE shop anyway, so you can see that happening. Under the back though, um, under the back though, you see you see Evian Heights having a um having a intense discussion if the S Y or so or and then it's in terms of um in terms of traditional fundament or the rest. So, and in my opinion, travel with the say another and so here heights are actually a child and she's heights actually a challenges Charlie at and as if I can beat you Charlie I'll use the NUCC or enter I to if you use this situation but to no avail. Um, so yeah, so the and uh, uh, um, so and Charles, Upton, yeah, agrees to them, and you can actually you see it from a mile away. Charlie, she's going to treat the and another to keep Avion Heights for the dispatching himself around the NUCC. Now Heights himself has a lot of potential about him. He had to that when pro wrestling the one that I mentioned last week. He's get kind of a more hybrid style about him. He's very athletic, but he can also do the mat. He can also do the mat stuff really well. And I think that'll be a pretty good match. Down the line, obviously next to obviously next to he could be I guess for that match because it was confirmed he are on, but the next match we have on the card here, guys, the next match we have on the card here, guys, is obviously Exis King versus Miles on. And ironically enough, Miles on has also recently dispatched himself for on the NUCC. Now this is another Uga eyes that I see potential in. You've got um you've got Miles born after after and sort of inspirational story that's been touched upon in the recent times on NXT. You've also got you've also got Exis King, who is the son of the late great Brian Pillman and Pillman and had to just be been alive um for a few more years. I think he could have been a bigger star than what he was because I think if he had went back to either ECW or WCW, he would have power awesome about Beth, but that's a separate debate for another time. Again, again, I think comes out the raps early and dictates the pace. He hits a short snake eyes in the corner where he are on in the mat. But that kind of us off the couple. Um, um, Ailes, Ailes born begins to get old and hits the drop and hits that picture perfect drop. Because the album was a ring up. He's got a good job on that drop. Um, but any hits will so like as a zigzag and the Evelyn gets the one. And again, again, so a competitive matchup here. But it's obvious though that they've got more of I did era he was on trajectory as in the company. Obviously, in terms of the defeat for Lex, this thing, it shows that they don't really have an idea for him as of yet. So yeah, the right person. So the right person goes over again. Interestingly enough, I was on new music sounds okay. It's not like the usual Death Rebel soul up. It's got a good vibe and then that was the um and then that was the first um occasion that you see the theme song that you hear the theme song or an action and like yeah the only thing I would actually say is so sometimes in the performance or and also applies to get arenas on the main shows. Sometimes they do need to crank up the volume just a tad on the on the sound of the music, but basically because but because I kind of want to hear the actual lyrics because there's so lyrics actually on top of this melody shockingly and old for everyone on for them or instrumental themes. But yeah, I do the way you think this theme song has a potential. He got a massive reaction as it came out, and everybody seems to be getting behind him, and yeah, I felt it was a good outing for him. And in the back, he sees Arya and Soul. Uh, um, actually eating with eating packs, so with eating packs, so um, and I actually get ever a film on in about as he aims children engines um and the basic kill he said and the basic kill he said she is not particularly happy with a few host another match traditionally it also stab you in the back. She's not your artillery for the and and as soon as you realize that you you hear for or you as he comes in and she says that he I know it wasn't intentional. I know it wasn't intentional. You never meant to cause them either match or as to eat and and to remove you offer and the last him up pinning against all the curtains area. So again, as he is kind of the more manipulative character, and she seems to um have packs so he um on or some sort of spell pack so he just unpacked so he just wants a a friend basically and as he just as he at the moment just kind of um just kind of being where herself and actual limb and napipili in the yeah in another way arguable I will actually see that well I'll actually see that a sentence and I think that'll be I think that'll be a feud but also as well I think that's a good indication that they'll be on the tag teams for the Fatal 4 at the upcoming Evolution pay-per-view, the all-female event, and yeah, so that would actually follow up on the soul watch, and yeah, I see what they're trying to do here in regards to that as well. Um, I see, I see what they're trying to do in regards to that as well. So yeah, so then, so the next segment is obviously okay, or Josefi, all out Tony D'Angelo, and D'Angelo comes, and D'Angelo comes out and the Kirby basically asks, I actually tells D'Angelo hear him out. Essentially, Lucifino goes on about jobs in the legal profession and gave up for Tony D'Angelo, the also a career in WWE, and obviously, um, and obviously, the Lucifino entrance and the Angel was paranoia, etc. And the Angel was like, they hit me in the head with a book as a big wasn't an unlike in the Heritage Cup trophy. Out comes Channing Stacks or Lorenzo. Just Stacks so he's not got his entourage of like six bodyguards out of him. He's all dressed in but acne looks but arse and he basically um and he basically he tries to and he basically tries to pull your head him and him and he says, oh, look at my Kentucky video area. Um um I know I know you're on my side. I'm back home here you oh home. So Rusafino's been caught in the middle basically at this and as head honcho and as head honcho stand off for the past couple of weeks and then D'Angelo's chance to respond and obviously he respond onto a first side to you on your decision but he says it very forcefully and obviously he he then lashes out and both punching both of them in the face very similar to the way the D'Angelo punched him or Lucifino in the face or as to he, so and Lucifino basically he says the only he said on his own because Lucifino and he's the other two guys in the ring on the now ultimately I think um I think he'll end up siding with Channing Stacks or Lorenzo as well eventually. I think this would be just a red herring, a kind of roll you off the scent a bit. And yeah, so that's all good. And yeah, still no mention of Adriana Rizzo. Oh no, Rizzo hasn't been seen since since she was taken to the Eve House. And yeah, so something's already said. Um, um, Channing Stack's Lorenzo has already gotten in as those ear, and it's only a matter of time before her Lucifino defects as well. But obviously that's not confirmed to her for us all because we haven't seen her in ages now since standing the war. Ever so then that's a gap now to be honest because standing the other was a WrestleMania weekend. But yeah, interesting developments here, and um, I enjoy all the characters, and I enjoy Rizzo as well. Hopefully, she's back soon because she'll add a bit of further context to the story here. But yeah, um, but yeah, now that's taking care of. And um, and the back, we see Jasper or Troy cutting a pre-taped or almost saying that he'll dominate in the Mura and he'll and he thinks Obafemi is the other of them because he took Obafemi to the more than anybody else on the north. Oh, and essentially, um, uh, essentially the hospital pine a sky as we go on to find out later on. He said, um, he said that we know Bafemi at the Great American Bash, and yeah, that's the end of the promo. You get Opa's response. He said, whoever the challenger uh, as um has got to have a written determination to rise the championship from me. It says it says whether it's Jasper or Troy or Anamura, I'll still be standing over them as the ruler of NXT, and Anamura comes in and he says, I'll see you soon, Opa. So end the segment and we have yeah, heel up again. You have yeah, heel up against the wall. Um, have yeah, heel up against the wall. And he read now it has been ordered. It has been kind of on the one correct wrestle us on the show, she had to that fantastic um outing against JCJ for the NXT Championship. That was her debut match. She's already shown she's got about a fire in the character development because she's so up JC Jane Ice and then how she's slapped your held up this last week and she kinda took it with your heel and then some match she had to the majority of the offense. Yeah, um yeah tries to go over the um Ura submission hold but but Rita Shelby if it's often gives her a big gives her a big uh, and like she she gets the woman and by holding on to the ropes she did that with previous in the match, but if the feet on the ropes, but this time it was the arm on the ropes that gets the victory, and uh, she'll be a star for the future. Oh, I like, I like, any it as a performer. I think she's got the potential to actually do something. Obviously not yet though, but as long as she keeps the momentum, etc., I think she can be a real asset to not only NXT but eventually up to the main roster. And yeah, let's see how far she can go. In the back, we see um in the back we see um Eva chatting Ethan Page and or he says about the past several episodes on um confrontations. Obviously, obviously, she's quite in the to have a final match. But obviously, Ethan Page is backed up by Ivan, a project of Evolve. Unfortunately, Zeta, you isn't actually in the room. Uh, Um, I think they're kind of, I think they're kind of separating her from the rest of the action. I think that is actually will indicate that this could be a permanent sort of home for them because the Vanity Project have the Vanity Project have been on the show several times now, and yeah, a solid tag team. Although you do have Jackson Drake um, as Evolve and champion. But yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. Um, he also he father he can get his can get his rematch for the Ultimate Anakin Championship if they beat us and then go on. Match. Now this actually happened and Evolve several episodes ago. Sean Egg versus the Vanity Project in the same sort of in the same sort of stipulation. So yeah, they've got pretty obvious around over our opponents with the rules. Um, Ethan P. Ethan Page says, yeah, boys, and for that, or Ricky, he sent he's and he says, see you with next week. Um, so yeah, so that's set up for next week, but obviously I see Saints the destroying Van project because obviously I see a sort of loser use the land situation and obviously I think Ethan Page has I think Ethan Page has already accomplished everything he can. He's a two-time North American champion. I think, and he's also an NXT champion. Sorry if I get the fact that I'm wrong about the North American Championship. Um, yeah, obviously my brain's not switched on tonight, um, but obviously, I think he has accomplished everything, and he's been on, and he's been down in NXT for a year, and I think he'll be getting called up to the main roster. I'm sure. Yeah, I'd imagine. I can't imagine there'll be too much else in forum the competition. And yeah, and then there has been us of them joining for all in this for action on the Oh, but in my opinion, I don't like to see Page. I don't like to see Page on his own. I don't think this guy. I don't think this guy actually. I don't think this guy needs any because he's the kind of smug Rick heel that even other heels will. He, if you know what him, so yeah, he'd be better on his own. I'm not sure I'm own for uh, um so so the next so the next segment is um That's and obviously, um, and obviously, they say you never know, yeah, you never know, yeah, he are showing up, and obviously, I think that's a reference impact on Friday, because obviously that's the argument is kind of slotted into the regular NXT program, and that segment and your segments are always is kind of filmed in advance. Um, yeah, so that would make sense. That is the driving force of speculation. Now this action has a bit of the shield about them in terms of the tandem offense, in terms of the face masks, and in terms of the way they head down to the ring as well. It's all very sort of reminiscent of the Shield, if you get what I'm in. Um, but yeah, I really do think that these guys could be doing a lot more on the show. If there's any drawback to the show, it would be that because you've got an idea of these renegades that just destroy everything in our path, but yeah, our only purpose at the moment is to cut these late promos out in the car park and the performance then. I don't really know. I don't really know what's going on with it's a strange it's a strange concept. Under the um under the back you see the old thing and Hank and Tank and a bit of an argument. Hank and Tank say the and attack them on last week's episode. They say you have no proof, and then Tatum packs so he gives her a sense, and she says if you're gonna use them and you feel that strong now, about it, then put the NXT and Tag Championships on the line, etc. So that's the end of that segment. Also, it's now time for the tag match between Soul and between Soldier and Aria or or a Ire song and calls them as Ara. I think that's what it calls but in the back no, but like, oh, alright, okay. Yeah, I don't know. what I'm saying here. Um, so obviousum, so obviously the two, so obviously the two teams, makes them out together, and um, and honestly, it's a very fast-paced match. Again, obviously, he packed, so he is obviously very underrated in my opinion. She's always in the thick of it in tag matches, taking risks with lives, etc. So yeah, um, so yeah, so yeah, very good spots in this match. Everybody pulled to their weight in this match, and it was fantastic. Obviously, obviously, you have obviously, it's, we have parts of an as a out the a uh obviously you have parts of a shoving as a out the a she takes this year and eventually a soul is the person that takes the fall off this guy high power bomb expert with the even by as his aim. I think she's in her own. She's got an established character on the show as a bitchy sort of man, as a bitchy sort of kind of Ivan manipulator on the show. Obviously, I think that this will be, and I think that's what was confirmed. Actually, I think that was confirmed for the Great American Bash that sold. I'll put our NXT North American Championship on the line against Izzy, and I think that'll be a fantastic match, and both actually have a lot of ability. Um, all is more the sort of a high risk, whereas Izzy is more the high impact. Is more on the high impact moves. So so yeah, that was fine. We get a pre of a chase of a chasey segment. Mariah Connor and Kale X continue to appeal Andre Chase, and Chase is and Chase is and Chase says that as in the segment, I need to change my ways, and so does Chase. He's to continue to and to continue to thrive, and essentially, yeah, I think this is the beginning of a Tracy heel or on. I think they can. I think they've on everything they can do. Um, if on Harvey as a face, and I think having on us and action as a catalyst um on a heel um on a heel injury chase is perfect because they're the puppet masters and so yeah it's a good segment. I do enjoy injury chase as a performer. So now we get to so now we get to Jasper or Troy and Ura Josh, but or exactly he says and Ura you've got this you have got this and I am going to be out there a few but and Ura says and Eminem says, here I've got this on my own, and essentially, the Asper or Troy takes it, um, Jasper Troy takes it, uh, Jasper Troy takes it, and Mura, and obviously. I know this one. It has his actual saw and never only gets a and essentially you're thinking a shot could be on the arms here and that's exactly what happens and Ura comes off the top rope, up hits the differ, logs Ash and gets the victory. Jazz or Troy actually reminds me of a Ash. I say this every week on the channel. Um, she just did presentation with the chains and the attire on it's very abyssal. Like it's very sort of classic sort of early ish. And yeah, I think Jasper or Troy's get a lot of and so he gets attacked he gets attacked on some matches over by Javon Evans and it sets up that potential matchup for the Great American Bash and yeah kids have kinda had the eye on in that match for the past couple of weeks. So uh, and the main event you see you see Jordan Grace actually a very somber a promo about self out etc and about how hard she'd fought to get to Although, although she gets interrupted by JCG and the fatal influence. So yeah, and 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 Jane has her response. She said, she said, people like you, I know this will be, I know this will be, mm, I know this will be, I know, oh, you think you can actually come in and jump the line for an opportunity. Is often special, and I'm going to still be on the NXT Women's Champion or Evolution, and obviously, um, and obviously after on that, obviously after that, Henry, following Henry, and JAC's attack in Jordan, start attacking Jordan, and as soon as that happens, we hear oh, another Rose music, so she comes out after a couple of weeks, for the obviously when the oh, and I say, and so she comes out to save Jordan race out 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 comes Eva, and Eva organizes the um organizes it match for the Great American Bash. Obviously, I think Mariah and JCG in that match, and obviously she becomes the number one contender. Or because I think JCG will end up getting a victory over Jordan, because match has been used and since I am he showed up. So yeah, I think that'll be the it happens, and obviously I expect another will obviously and take the L from JC Jane. But anyway, the tag match is set for the night before at the Great American Bash, Al and Henry and JC Jane on the opponents, and eventually we'll get the JC Jane following Henry. He feud as well, because that's been on the on um or a considerable period of I'm so remember, uh, I'm so remembered. I, s- uh, I'm so remembered. I used to hit the like, sh yeah, and or I know see you over very soon, impossible for the uh, uh, or for users. Oh, that'll be the following week, and yeah, it seems uh, happens a seven out of possible full hearts. I didn't enjoy the as the previous episodes, but it still had some pretty so it if it's etc. Uh, so yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy the thumbnail. I'm made for the stream on, and yeah, I'll see you all very soon on the channel.